Thank you. I guess I could get started, and we're recording a call anyway, and anyone who joins late can make up for the time. Again, thank you for joining. Lots of familiar faces, some people I'm seeing for the first time, so it's great to meet you. Let me start by sharing my screen. I have a small presentation, but for the most part, I'll be doing a demo of the platform. Hope I get this right. It's the first time I'm using PowerPoint on my computer. Would usually use the one that comes with Google Docs. Please let me know if you can screen my scene okay. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. So today, we're here to announce our latest feature addition. It's called Hyperpersonalized messages or dynamic sequencing. And I'll explain as I go. These are just the highlights, and we'll do a live demo just to present to you how this works inside of the platform, and we'll have a Q&A session at the end. So for those who might be new here, joining us for the first time, so Zeekeo Launchpad is an omni-channel growth platform. So we help you scale your outreach throughout LinkedIn, email, and today we're here to discuss one specific aspect of our platform. What we had before and what most of the platforms have at the moment is templated messaging, right? And we are making that shift to hyper-personalized, AI-generated, research-based messaging. So what are templated messages? I'm sure you've seen them all before. These are pre-written, standardized messages sent to large audiences without a lot of customization or relevance. Yeah, hi, first name, check out our new products. And what are hyper-personalized AI messages? These are messages that are dynamically generated for every individual prospect based on their behavior, preferences, communication history, conversation context. These are powered by AI models and real-time inputs. These would provide great relevance and would increase your engagement rates. So this is not something generated by the system, but as a basic example, hey Alex, based on your recent interest in running shoes, here are 3 arrivals in your size with 10% off. Yeah. So how do we do this specifically? What is happening in the back end? We work off what we call persona, and I'll demonstrate this in detail as I switch to the platform. So the persona is the digital you. It's information about you, your offering, your service, benefits, etc. So the persona is you. We use the prospect website to find more information about them. So we'll grab some details about what they do, and further on, this will be used to create more relevance and to match the offer to their position, their role, the company positioning, etc. And this is also we also integrate their LinkedIn profile data, like their job history, their profile description, any relevant details we can find on their LinkedIn profile. And this is integrated in the messaging and customized by AI to better fit their purpose. So a lot of you might have concerns about AI, and fairly so. And for that reason, like AI could be too generic, it could be random, it could go crazy at times, God forbid, but it does happen. So we do provide some guardrails around this. So first of all, we have a message approval function. You can review, edit, and approve the messages before they're sent out. We provide you with custom prompts, so you could say, do this or don't do that in the prompt. And this will, of course, affect the messaging. And we also give you an option to manually generate, edit, and send out messages throughout the inbox. Yeah. And finally, this is available both for LinkedIn and email, so omni-channel. And we haven't had this feature for a long time, but based on our preliminary testing, we've seen 2 to 3 times or 200 or 300% increase in reply rates and engagement rates. So pretty excited, right? I'll switch to the platform now to show you around, to show you how this looks in practice. And we'll have a Q&A session. So in case you have any questions, feel free to ask them. And by the way, please meet Dana Vines. She's here on the call. She's our Director of Sales and Partnerships. She'll be here to assist you with any sales-related questions. With that in mind, let me switch to the platform itself, and I'll present the feature inside of the platform. There we go, present something else. So this is my account. So how does this work in practice? We typically start by creating a persona. As I mentioned before, the persona is the digital you. So it's your name, your company name, your email address, the company URL, your company URL, which we'll also use to grab some information about your business, what it is that you do, your title, the industry that you operate in, a mobile number, and a booking link. And the mobile number and the booking link could also be used to automatically book calls, and it could be sent over by AI, or it could be sent over by you whenever such information or whenever a call is requested. So you can view the persona as basically a prompt for the AI. I'm sure most of you have played around with AI to a degree. Essentially, these are prompts that were provided to the AI. These are both instructions and context for it to understand what to generate the messaging from and what to generate the replies from. Now you can have different personas for different campaigns and for different purposes. As an example, you can have a persona to generate template messages for your campaigns or dynamic sequences for your campaigns, and you can have a different persona to take care of different inbox conversations or generate conversations manually for you in a single click. So this is how the persona looks. We also have an AI persona generator, and this is how it looks. So you can define your ICP, job titles, industries, company sizes you're reaching out to, and you can also use custom instructions to help it better craft a persona. And of course, before it's saved and used for anything, you can review and edit it to your liking. And this is a great opportunity for experimentation. As we all know, AI is a bit of a black box, and the results might vary. So to find a better prompt, I would encourage testing different things and seeing what yields the best possible outcomes for you. Now, this is the persona. This is the basis of the AI messaging. Now, if we switch to a campaign, let's say this one, inside of the workflow section, so for those that are new, the workflow is basically the set of actions that are being done inside of the campaign. It's what's happening in what order in the campaign. So in this case, we're customizing or creating dynamic messages for 3 messages or 2 different message types: LinkedIn follow-ups and LinkedIn emails, or LinkedIn sequences and LinkedIn emails. And this is how you control the AI within the AI features within the campaign. It's called AI Control Center. This is a new addition. So from here, you have a couple of options. You have AI sentiment analysis, which in this case will analyze the conversation and rank it as positive, neutral, or negative, just in terms of its sentiment. You can generate templates, static templates for the campaign through a single click. This will be based on persona we've created previously. You can set up an inbox autopilot for it to automatically take care of the conversations. Again, based on a persona and the conversation context. And finally, the big thing, dynamic messaging. So this is how it looks. You can choose from a persona that you've created before, modify the tone from friendly to professional, its length, and you could ask it to include intentional typos to, I guess, make it look like you've just quickly typed a message from your phone while rushing somewhere. You can reference the prospect's latest post. And the final option is to require approval before sending. And you also have an option to include a custom prompt. This is how you could tell the AI what to do and what not to do, on top of the instructions you've provided before in the persona. And from out here, we'd select the messages we'd like to enable dynamic sequencing for, or dynamic messaging for. In my example, it's referring just to follow-up messages and not the invitation note. And once we've set this up, we can generate some previews to see how this would look in practice. And this is a great opportunity for experiments. You can see what type of results are being generated for a few profiles, and based on this, modify the prompts to make it suit your purpose. This might take a minute or so to generate the messages, and we can review them and see what the results are like. In the next step, I'll be also showing some actual live campaigns from my account and from my colleagues' accounts with some live results and examples of messages that the AI has generated so far.
Edgar, can I just ask you a question while you're waiting for that to load up?
Hi, Phil. Sure.
Because you've got Google Meet in as well, so it's going to take forever for that to load up at the same time. A question regarding the actual, when you're creating the AI element of it, and you can put some notes in there, custom notes, I think it's called. Any suggestions of what should go in there to help the AI along?
So it's essentially a box where you can include a custom prompt. Yeah, you could say, do this. Let's say you could say, please introduce me on every messaging step, or the opposite, don't introduce me on every messaging step. I would suggest basing the custom prompts on the previews. So as an example, we've generated some preview messages here. Yeah, and once I read the messages, I'll have a feeling whether I like the messages, generated messages, or not. And as a result, I could say, hey, don't do this, or do this instead. Yeah, and that's the exact purpose for the custom prompt. Although you can prompt it quite well through the persona. I know it's got segmentation. It's got its specific segments where you define specific things, but you can treat them all as a general prompt. Yeah, in the back end, it will treat it just as a prompt. It's for your own convenience to have it sort of breaking down into several sections. But at the end of the day, it's a prompt that will modify the message for you. So this is the preview. I think this looks pretty good. These generally the structure of these messages is to compliment someone on an achievement, on something positive we can find on their profile or website, and then craft a message that is personable to their role or their position. In practice, so this is just a preview. You could use this to modify the prompts. You can use this to modify the persona and kind of move it in the right direction. Within the campaign, once it's live, I'll show you how this looks on an actual practical a live campaign. Once the approval option is turned on, you will see two sections now for any profiles that are to be messaged, to be sequenced. Now I have 35 requests pending. I did take care of some yesterday, but I still have some pending. And this is the section where you'll see the pending messages. And from here, you can either edit, review, customize them to your liking, or simply click send. I would encourage you, at least initially, to have this option on before you can custom modify some custom prompts that you would be comfortable with, yeah, and can trust more. There's two, I guess, general directions for prompting. You can make it very simple if you'd like your messaging to be simple and short, or you can include as much information as possible, and AI will have more information to pick from. Yeah. So the more context you provide, the more versatile the messages would be. Or if you make it simple, the messaging would be simpler, if you prefer that. So this is quite personal. Every person has their own writing style, that has their own preferences. So I'd recommend experimenting around. Now, this is a part of it. So these are the dynamic messages. They're unique for every prospect. And it's quite important, in our opinion, both for LinkedIn and email. As we well know, email providers, at the very least, and we believe LinkedIn is doing the same, they can track templated messages, especially in the recent years with rules and regulations around cold email outreach getting stricter. The providers can track even your message signature. And if it's been used in any, let's say, spammy messages before, it could be a classifier for a spam message. The same goes for templated messages. They can recognize the template, as I'm sure most of you can as well, just visually. This is a templated message. It says hi, first name, and there's the company name, and there's the position, etc. Now, email providers can do the same, and we believe LinkedIn can do the same. So in our opinion, it's quite important to switch to more dynamic, more unique messaging for every prospect, both across LinkedIn and email. And we've seen some great reply rates, a general increase of 2 to 3 times of positive reply rates, and reply rates in general across some of our own internal campaigns and some client campaigns that have been testing this for the past 10 days or so. And I'll show you around the inbox section as well. Unfortunately, I can't share any, I suppose I can't share any conversations with prospects, but inside of the inbox section, we have an opportunity to generate a response using the AI. So we could choose which inbox we want to send it from. Typically, it would be the classical LinkedIn inbox. And we can select a persona that would be doing the reply. So you can have a custom persona that is simply geared towards replying to prospects versus sending them customized messages. And this one could contain more, I guess, details on the service provided, or maybe some typical Q&A a client would go through before, I guess, booking a call or exploring your product. So essentially, you can have 2 personas, one used to generate the dynamic messages, and another one used to reply to prospects. And again, you have 2 options. As a guardrail, you can generate the responses manually and edit them to your liking before sending them, or you can, after a while, maybe after some trust is gained in the prompt and in the process, you can also put it on autopilot. So that's the main part. I'm sure some of you would have questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask the question live, or feel free to type it in the chat, and I'll pick it up as soon as I can. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. May I ask a question?
Yes, please.
By the way, it might be a bit noisy. I'm trying to have noise cancellation, but if it's noisy, I'm sorry about this.
No, you're good.
Okay, thank you. Edgar'cığım, first of all, in Armenian to Armenian, thank you for the presentation, everything. And I have one question, and in any way, I don't mean to say your product is bad. This is the first time I'm seeing the product, but I'll be very, like, 200% honest with you. One of your
Please.
colleagues, I think Stefan Bako, right? They reached out to me, and this is how I got into this, right?
Mhm.
And maybe I have a lead gen agency myself. Maybe I'm seeing this every day. That's why it's kind of obvious for me. But the message, and by the way, the same goes for comments as well. AI generated message is like 100% obvious. Like the message that Stefan has sent me is like 120% AI generated by your own tool, right? So how, and by the way, there are other tools which are generating, I mean, again, maybe better, maybe worse results, but similar results, let's call it. So what's different and how we can make sure, besides the prompting, because that honestly doesn't help a lot. So how we can make sure the AI generated message sounds human? Because again, every time I receive a message, I can 100% say this is an AI generated message or comment.
No, I agree. I think AI is. I would disagree only on one part. It's the prompting. Yeah, I think AI is as I said, it could be quite generic at times. It can sound AI generated as it is, but I think prompting does help. Through experiments, that would be my answer. Experimenting with different prompts and providing different details in the persona, because essentially the replies and the messages that are generated by the AI are based on the context that you provide, are based on fixed information from someone else's profile, which is relatable, and that's the great part, because it's the way you stitch it together, and it's into a dynamic sequence or a reply, and I think it will largely depend on the prompts. Yeah. So the more information you.
Edgar, sorry to jump in here, just to mention, I've worked with Stefan in the last 24, 48 hours and to test some radically different prompts. And I can vouch for what you're saying. With the right prompts, the messages that this thing spits out are very human, very real. So you do have that full control within this tool.
All right. And one just technical clarification, just again for myself, because if it's based on LLMs, and which is, I'm making a guess, right? So they tend to, after some period of usage, I'm not a technical guy, but they tend to hallucinate, right? So in this case, what are the risks of, let's say, if I'm generating 1,000 messages at scale, what are the risks of getting your tool to hallucinate and start breaking it, let's say?
We've not experienced this in our practice. I wouldn't exclude that possibility. AI tools in general, like if you do a search via Google, yeah, and you would think it's obvious because it's basing it on certain search results, and some answers are quite obvious because it's included, let's say, the product description or the product information. It still get it wrong, right? So there's no 100% guarantee that AI might not make a mistake every now and then. I believe these are fairly minimal, and we're generally very content with the quality and accuracy. But for this same reason, we provide you with the guardrails. You have an opportunity to review the messages and approve them before sending them. I appreciate it will be harder at scale, but typically, if you're modifying, let's say, just the follow-up messages from your LinkedIn outreach, just to get the numbers right, you can typically send maybe 20 to 40 invitation messages per day, an average acceptance rates of 20 to 30 to higher maybe percent, but still, it's not all the messages that will be accepted. So you'll be looking into maybe a couple of dozen messages per day at the most. And while, of course, templated messaging is quite easier. It requires no maintenance, no approval. The value benefit of the increased reply rates, I think the sheer increase in reply rates fully compensates for even the additional time spent on reviewing and apologies, modifying and approving the messages.
All right. Well, thank you for your honesty and thank you for the clarifications.
No, of course. Thank you. Any other questions, please?
No, I mean, can you guys hear me okay? I was working
Yeah.
on my microphone settings for a second, but yeah, to that point, really, I create a bunch of AI characters, and really the way they behave is based on you giving them as much information about how you speak, so that they respond the way you would respond. And then you need to kind of battle test them. I mean, you can do that in any large language model. So you could use ChatGPT, and like it'll tell you like, what should I put in this screen so that it's going to behave. You have to give it a knowledge base so that it knows, like, you know, if it's a pricing related question, it's gonna, you know, give out the right information. You got to give it enough background so that it behaves correctly. And, you know, it seems to me like if you are having to approve every single response, you know, if you rig the Zeekeo product correctly, then you should be getting a lot of responses for yourself or for your clients. So it's probably going to be a pain to stop and approve every single message. So if you set up the AI feature, which I'm really excited about, then it'll save you a lot of time. You just got to make sure it behaves right, and you got to battle test it.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. And you could also use various tools like Claude or ChatGPT to create the prompts for you based on your requirements, and make it sound more human-like is another prompt that could be used. But ultimately, you have to test it. You have to see the results for yourself and see if you're content with them.
Yep.
Any other questions, please?
So the 200 to 300% increase, that's due to the just dynamic messaging, because I guess the title of this conversation was no more templates. So how long have you tested that to identify that number? Because that's amazing if that's
it's
accurate.
we haven't had a lot of time to field test it, but for the past couple of weeks, that's what we've been seeing, a rapid increase in reply rates. And as to what is provided not, I believe the higher degree of customization. So I think most of us are getting enough of templated messages per day, and just as you can tell if the message is AI generated or sensed out, there's some tools that define it or determine it more or less accurately, but I've seen them fail as well. So I guess some tools would consider a message generated by ChatGPT as 100% human written, and sometimes 25% AI generated, while they're all 100% AI generated.
So I think the main tell is if it's, an automated reply. Can we set a delay on there so that it seems more human, or is it instant, which is quite the tell that, oh, I'm talking to a bot?
It will. It wouldn't feel like talking to a chatbot due to natural delays in processing and syncing the replies. So it wouldn't be immediate anyway. Like it takes time for the system to see the conversation, to track it. For acceptances, especially, it takes maybe an hour or two for the acceptance to be tracked in the system and the message to be generated. Same for the replies. They're almost instantaneous. They're instantaneous if you're in the inbox, but if it's not, it might take a few minutes at the least to be tracked in the inbox and the reply to be sent. And I would still encourage using guardrails. Like you can use a persona and see what type of response it is generating, modify it, and send it over only if you're content with that. Yeah, and same for the message generation. You can see the previews and see how well they work. And you wouldn't see every message generated because we wouldn't be generating a message for every prospect, to be fair. But you can see, I guess, a general tendency or a general flow of messages to be generated. And of course, you have the manual approval option, and you can see literally every message generated pending be sent. And
So
I can yes, please.
I think probably just to make everybody comfortable, like, I mean, I have my own LinkedIn Sales Navigator, like, connected, and then all my clients as well. But like, I'm going to experiment and test this with my own account, before rolling it out with my, all my clients. But I mean, man, like, this is a big feature, and like, as long as it's dialed in right, and I mean, that's just autopilot running. That's great.
Yeah. And for some reason, I can't find Stefan's account. He's is the one who's tested this the most. He didn't even put too much time in the AI. I guess he trusted the AI way too much, and maybe more than he should have. But his typical, and he ran it for a couple of weeks. He was running the test mode, not even the final version. And in his replies, and this is something I can share because this is an internal account, we have some clients testing as well, reporting the same rough increases in numbers. But what he experienced, on average, he was getting maybe higher single-digit reply rates on his campaigns. But in a new AI-generated campaign, AI sequencing campaign, dynamic messaging campaign, the reply rates were above 20%. And I wanted to say what I believe is the main factor of the increased reply rate. It's the customization. So anytime we craft a message, we use the data that the person is sharing on LinkedIn. So it's their LinkedIn profile data, it's their profile description, it's their job positions, it can be posts that they've made. So essentially, you're engaging with them with the content they've shared before, or ideas they've shared before, accomplishments they've had before. And this would naturally create a higher engagement rate than just say, hi, first name, this is what I'd like to offer. Any other questions, please?
I don't think so on my end. I'm actually updating some of my clients' campaigns right now, but no, I think I'm good. I'm just gonna experiment with it.
Sounds good. Yeah, experimenting is what I'd encourage, because there's no one, I guess, universal prompt for everyone. You gotta play around with it, generate a few messages, and see what's the best one for you and for that particular campaign. Because campaign goals could also be different. You might want to use different language or different approach for different campaigns. And should any one of you have any questions, sales-related questions, feel free to speak to Dana. She'll be more than happy to communicate on any pricing or volume pricing related questions.
Actually,
Yeah, thank you, Edgar. I will be following up with everyone from the call via email, just in case you do want to book some time in for more of a one-on-one. We can go over like your specific use case or different strategies that you want to employ. We can talk about that, but then also there will be some negotiated pricing that we can work out for you. So definitely respond to that email if there is any interest.
Very
to be
cool.
quite frank
Thank
with you,
you.
yeah, I don't have contact with Donna, I think, right? So want you to understand if I want to just test run it just for myself and see let's say the profile, see how it works. It's the prompting, how good I can get it. So should I just go on the website and just like sign up for it, or there should be a separate link? How does this work?
You're more than welcome to sign up now if you like, or you could book a call with me. It's really however you want to play it. So, but we will be sending a follow-up email with just some more information and the link itself. But yeah, if right now you want to just dive right in, go ahead. We'd love that.
Okay, yeah, no. If you'd like to send this, if you're gonna send the email, yeah, that's fine. I was not sure just how it's gonna work. Thank you.
Sure.
Well, thanks, Edgar. Thanks, you guys.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Nate.
sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining, everyone. Have a great rest of the day.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.